Hey everybody, my name is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to dive into Crohn's disease and what it's like living with a J pouch. It is an interesting and wild ride, but it's my journey and it's my ride, and we have learned a lot, gone through a lot, and I hope to help somebody who has either gone through this, is going through it, or maybe facing it. So let us start. I was diagnosed at 22 with ulcerative colitis. So that's kind of weird saying when I just said I have Crohn's disease. Well, this is where the interesting part of my ride starts. I was first diagnosed with ulcerative colitis at the age of 22. I always had a sensitive stomach. I always didn't feel well. Like, I had joint pain. I was always called a picky eater, always complaining, everything about my stomach when I was younger and growing up. And when I hit 21 is really when things started to flare up. And at 22 is when it got to a point where I just couldn't handle it anymore and I couldn't hide it. And there started to be blood when there shouldn't be blood, constipation when you shouldn't have constipation, and it got to a point that I ended up in the hospital. I do have a few videos down talking more about that journey when I first was diagnosed, talking about my diagnosis journey, if you guys want to go ahead and watch that one. But that was 6 years ago, and a lot has happened since then. I actually have Crohn's disease. I don't have ulcerative colitis. But so if you guys want to go ahead and go down below and watch that video for a little bit better of an idea of how I was diagnosed and what all happened, that'd be a great option. If not, you can always ask a question and I'm happy to answer. So long story short, I was not responding to any medications. I didn't respond to Humira, Remicade, Entyvio. Nothing was working. I still was ending up in the hospital every other month. I would spend at least 4 days in a hospital when I was in a hospital. Just nothing was working. I was on prednisone for 1.5 years because anytime I would taper below 30 milligrams of prednisone, I would end up again back in the hospital and miserable, and I felt like I was just living in a bathroom. I mean, I'm 22 years old, 23 years old. I should be out having fun with my friends and out partying and living my life, and I couldn't even leave the bathroom. If I left the bathroom, it was for maybe 5 minutes, and I would end up back in the bathroom. And I wasn't sleeping at night. If I was, it was for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and any little movement I would make in the bed, bathroom. Instant bathroom. So for about 1 year, I struggled with just living in the bathroom, and the mental toll that it takes on somebody is absolutely devastating. I can make a whole separate video on that if you guys would be interested in something like that. I know it's kind of a little bit of a topic that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but if people are interested, I'd be more than happy to speak about my experiences with mental health, and especially in the context of having an autoimmune disease. So after living in the bathroom and living in hospitals, the longest stretch I had was about 30 days without being in a hospital from being diagnosed to 2020. So I was diagnosed in 2018, and then to the end of 2019 and really into 2020, the longest I went was 30 days without being in a hospital. More importantly, being admitted to the hospital, because you can go to the hospital sometimes and then you're discharged from the hospital. Not for me. I would go to the hospital, go to the emergency room, knew I was getting admitted, knew I was going to be there for a few days, and that was my life. And that was absolutely miserable. And so I tried Remicade, tried Humira, tried Entyvio. None of them were working. And it got to a point where my GI doctor actually recommended me to go to Cedars-Sinai, the big GI clinic there. Well, if you have the opportunity, if you are in the area and you can go to Cedars-Sinai GI clinic, go. That clinic, those doctors, and those surgeons saved my life. I fully 100% believe that. It is without them, I would not be here today, would not be married, would not be living my life, would not have a life if it wasn't for them. So after I went down there, my first appointment, 3 hours long. 3 hours. That is the longest doctor's appointment I've ever had in my whole life. You talk to 3 different doctors. I talked to a dietitian. I talked to a therapist. I talked to so many people that day. And that's when it came to light that they believed that I was actually suffering from Crohn's disease, not ulcerative colitis. And it's manifesting itself inside of my colon. Well, the best way to figure that out is another colonoscopy. So we did another colonoscopy, and that is what they found. They found that I actually do have Crohn's disease, and in my Crohn's disease journey, it just manifested itself in my colon. Well, because of all the damage and all the inflammation and ulcerations and everything like that happened to my colon, we were now at a crossroads of, do we try more medication or do we take out our colon? So at this time I was 24, single girl, hoping to live her life, hoping to have some fun, hoping to find the person that I want to marry and all of that. And I didn't want to have surgery. I didn't want to have an ostomy bag. I didn't want that. I wanted to be normal. I wanted to feel good. I wanted to feel like myself again. And it was a very hard conversation to have with those doctors and my surgeons to get to the point where the surgery is more likely going to happen. Fast forward about 2 months after that big appointment and first appointment down at Cedars, and I got really sick, really, really sick. I went back to Cedars, requested an appointment, saw the doctors and said, hey, like, I'm bleeding a lot. I'm in a lot of pain. I can barely stand up straight. Like, what can we do? Like, my symptoms have not gotten any better. I can guarantee you I have inflammation throughout my whole body. It hurts to walk. Like, what can we do? Was admitted on Monday. Tuesday, my colon was out. The doctors and surgeons came in on Monday, said, we are going to look over your case a little bit more. If we deem it's possible, your colon's coming out. Well, a few hours later, the surgeon came back. Dr. Fleschner, or if you know Dr. Fleschner, he's an amazing, 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 amazing doctor, and he's an amazing surgeon. He's kind of quirky, but he is truly amazing, and he saved my life. I 100% believe that, and I cannot thank him enough for doing what he did. So, Tuesday, I was scheduled to have my colon removed. Well, things just can't be easy. And Tuesday morning, about an hour before they were coming to get me for surgery, I can't even explain the pain and how bad I felt. Like, I truly just tanked. Fever, like, I could barely stay awake. Well, Dr. Fleschner came. He saw that my colon perforated. An hour before my surgery, my colon perforated. So they rushed me in, pushed up my surgery, did my surgery, and I had an ostomy bag. Colon was gone, ostomy bag. I was like, oh, okay, like, maybe it won't be the worst thing. It's an ostomy bag. It's okay. Maybe it won't be the worst thing. And then comes the talks of, well, we can see if you're a candidate for a J pouch. But the thing with J pouches and being a woman and being of reproductive age, it can come with some negative side effects and negative consequences to the J pouch. Well, when I was 24 years old, I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, I'll be the fun aunt. I'm not even married. Like, if I don't get married, I don't have children. Everything is great. That's fine. Let's see if I can be a candidate for this J pouch and let's get this bag gone. Well, I was a candidate for the J pouch, and that is now what I'm living with. I had 3 other surgeries after that first initial one. After the first initial surgery with the perforation, I was in the hospital for about 30 days. That is not normal, but that is because I had an infection from the perforation, and then that led to ileus, which is where your intestines go back to sleep. So my first surgery experience is not the experience for everybody. But I do know people who have had their first surgery be amazing, and they're home within 4 or 5 days, and they're adjusting to their J pouch, and you have a home health nurse come and help you take care of it and help you change it for the first few times and teach you ways and tricks and all of the good stuff. And I can even go through, I still have some of my bags with me, even though I have my J pouch. I don't know, I feel like if I part ways with it, I'll end up with a bag again. I don't know, it's just me. I just keep them. So I can even make a whole video of applying a bag to my stomach and doing everything that I did as well, if that's something that people would be interested in. But yeah, so it was after the first surgery and after the 30 days, I went home, recovered, and then we had a second surgery, which created the J pouch. So the best way for me to understand a J pouch is they take out your colon, take out your entire colon and parts of your rectum, and they create like a little makeshift colon out of your small intestine. So your small intestine is literally going to be shaped like a J. It's kind of like this is more intestines up here, and then it goes down, goes through and looped, and then there's your pouch. This is sewn together. So that is your pouch right there. And then it's attached to your rectum. And then there's your bottom and comes out. So to me in my head, it's a makeshift colon. It doesn't absorb or do any of that stuff like a colon would, but holds the function of a colon. So that's the second surgery. You do end up with technically a new ostomy. Instead of an end ileostomy, you have a loop ileostomy. The loop ileostomy and I are not friends. We are not friends. We did not like each other. My first ostomy, the end ileostomy, loved him. Loved him. I would have lived the rest of my life with him looking back on it now. Perfect. Amazing. Perfect. My loop ileostomy, we hated each other. We were not on the right terms. We did not get along. I could not get a bag to adhere to my stoma to save my life. So I constantly dealt with leakage and my bag exploding and just, pardon my words, but shit everywhere. And I was getting burns on my stomach from the stomach acid, so I couldn't even apply the ostomy bag to my stomach because of the burns. And then to treat the burns, you have to put a cream on, or when I ended up in the hospital, because it was so painful and so red and tender, and I just could not figure out anything out what to do other than to go to the hospital because no bags were sticking. And I was in so much pain that I was like, I need help. Like, I need help right now. So I ended up at the hospital. They gave me a paste. Well, if you have an ostomy bag, you know you're supposed to have clean, dry skin. Your stoma is not going to adhere to a paste. It's going to adhere to skin, not a paste. So to get my bag on, we had to take the paste off. So there was really no way around it. I was either going to have the stomach burns or have the paste. And I needed the bag. So it was really no way around it. That was my biggest fight I had with my second loop ileostomy. Very happy they're gone. Very, very happy they're gone. And then the third surgery is your takedown surgery. After your pouch is all healed on the inside and everything like that, they go in and take your ostomy bag down, tie everything together in their nice little pretty pink bows, and ta-da, you're good. You now have a J pouch, and now you have to learn what life is like with a J pouch. And life with a J pouch is not easy. It's very interesting, and in the beginning, it's pretty hard. Like, I would say even now, I am going on year 5. This year is my 5th year with my J pouch, and I'm still learning things about it. And I'm still learning what I should eat, what I can't eat, ways to help it, creams and lotions and everything to help with butt burn and other problems that you have because of a J pouch. And I feel like it's a never-ending cycle. You know, it takes a very long time for your body to adjust to a J pouch and adjust to learning the functions of it. That I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, and you guys will help me figure it out, and I'll help you guys figure it out if you guys are also with a J pouch. And life is a lot better with a J pouch and without my colon. Yes, I still have inflammation in my small intestine and my stomach and my esophagus, and still have all of that from my Crohn's disease. But comparatively to where I was 6-7 years ago when I first was diagnosed, it's night and day. Night and day. And it is so much better, and it is so worth doing. Now, yes, J pouch life, there are days that are amazing and I feel wonderful, and I've only gone to the bathroom 6 or 7 times, but that's normal. And then there are days where I think if I made the right choice and if I should have just kept my bag. And I think that's going to happen for the rest of my life, because it's a what if. What would have happened if I just kept my bag and I didn't go for a J pouch? Or what kind of life would I have had? What kind of quality would I have had if I would have just kept the bag? But sitting back here now, I don't regret it, because all of those situations and all of that made me who I am, and I wouldn't change that for the world. So if anyone has any questions about what it's like to live with a J pouch, please drop them below and let me know, and I will try my best to answer them. If I can't answer them, I do know personally a few people who also have J pouches, and I can ask around, see what they think, see what their answers are. And yeah, let's have this journey, and let's just take it one bathroom break at a time. Have a great day, guys.